Welcome back, everyone, to Light All Fiends Podcast. This is episode 74.
Yes, sir.
We are back with Beyond the Timescape. I'm the biggest gamer.
Adam Moore.
And today, we're going to be... Oh, I just said it, but nah, I'm not saying it.
We're going to be talking about Region Lord Zoo.
Region Lord Zoo came out full blast. He really showed... Honestly... I was shocked at the actions he took against the Seventh Prince immediately.
Yeah. Oh, that was insane.
I was just like, what? This chapter. But yeah, we're gonna get to that part.
Yeah. So we get back from Moonrise Region. We get a couple chapters. It takes like probably a good 20 chapters into these 40 chapters until we like fully know what happened. Like rewards based, I feel like.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff they had to unpack.
But like. Big things is the Moonrise region was freed, all the laws binding them were like gone, everybody can live normally now, like all the species there were recovering. The heir apparent and his two sisters and his two brothers all are free from like any ties. The heir apparent's like the kind of like the monarch of the region.
Yeah, he took it over now, and now he's claiming Moonrise region.
I felt sad for his sister. I think it's fifth sister, if I believe is right, who was the healing sister.
Yeah. And
she basically just merged with the sun so that to create like healing powers where the sun shines.
Yeah.
And like that's her fate until like her god like wakes up or something.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that whatever happens with that.
I feel so sad for her. Like her life is servitude.
Bro, Zuki's gonna save her.
But like her life is so like
up to this point, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll free her, bro. He'll free her.
Yeah. And then we got other sisters helping out heir apparent. Eighth brother just went on a trip.
He just decided to be a wanderer.
He's a smoldering god, so he can wander.
Yeah.
And then ninth Sib, is a dual smoldering god, right? I believe.
Yeah, it's two worlds.
Two worlds. So does the other sister, right? Bright Spirit. The girl?
Bright Blossom.
Bright Blossom. I think they said she has two too.
I think so.
Yeah. But Nisib joins us on a return to see Sealing County.
Yep. He helped Zoo King form his god bodies, which was formed through his god troves that he formed in this 4th chapter. He formed god troves from a spirit trove, so he had 3 god troves. He has Violet Moon, the poison god. I guess god.
Yeah,
poison.
Poison god.
And then
Violet Emperor. Ghost Emperor.
No, it's not called Ghost. Like it's part of the first one, but it's not. That's not what it's called. Because he basically had everything.
They gave him names to each. Because I know, like, what they're based on, each trope.
They didn't give them names.
So, okay, I didn't remember.
I just remember it's just, like, the Violet Moon one and the Poison one.
Yep.
I don't remember what the first one was. What was the first one?
Oh, the first one was the Violet Moon.
No, first one, Violet Moon was the second one.
And then how about the Poison one?
Poison was the third.
You certain? No, actually, I'm certain the second one is Poison. I'm actually certain about that.
No, because the Violet Moon and the Poison, they got pushed out when he used... Oh, what am I talking about? Actually, I think you're right. I think he used the Crimson Flesh and merged it with the Violet Moon, and then it pushed out the Poison and the other one. I can't remember what the other one was.
Is that his own? His own godhood? I know the Violet is kind of his own. I think it was like Crimson Mothers, Poison, and then his own like Violet Lord.
Oh, maybe.
I think that's what it was.
Oh, I think you're right. So I think Violet, and then so it was Crimson. He used the Crimson Flesh to create his first god trope because all of it was clustered together.
Yep.
But because he had the Crimson Moon Flesh, like it took over and it pushed out the other god entities that weren't like affiliated with it.
Yep.
And then the Violet Moon and the Poison like formed their own.
Yeah.
So and then the first one like it uses the Golden Crow, the Ghost Emperor.
Yep.
And like D132.
Yep. Basically, all of his powers are in there.
Yeah, they're in the first one, and that separates the 2 god sources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the behind, they always describe it as like the 3 god sources, and behind that is his sundials.
Oh, the first one is I forgot. This first one has the blue dragon.
Oh, the blue dragon.
Because that's why. That's the real because it has a heavenly Tao, and the other two don't have heavenly Taos.
Yeah. So yeah, so his first one is like Heavenly Tao plus like Crimson Mother's power, all that stuff. Poison Gaze. Second one, like poison pill that he ate back in core formation. Third one is his Violet Moon, and he's the Violet.
So now, so the ninth Sib helps Zuking form these three god bodies.
So the spirituals are there, guys, but he doesn't, and like we already knew he wasn't spiritual, but he didn't know what to do in spiritual.
Yeah.
So like
he didn't know how to use them. He was like, "How do I use this god source?" And then this ninth Sib was like, "I'm gonna attack you, and your body's just gonna react."
Yeah.
And that's what it did. It formed god bodies.
And so we did find out that Zuking on his own can handle using the first body at all times, but he can't use the other two. But in that like brief moment, he found out that like each one he thinks is like comparable to Void Returning. So as of right now, Zuking can fight a first stage Void Returning. Insane. His foundation is just like it's bursting, man.
Yep. And so after that, Zuking's like, "All right, it's time to pack up and go."
Yep.
And then we find out that apparently there's Sealing County is at a dispute with the 7th Prince because of the war with the Nightshade. So he's basically recruiting everyone from
the Sealing County.
From the Holy Tide region in general.
But I know, well, they aren't really important.
Yeah, but from Sealing County, so they've been conscripting everyone. And Sealing County, obviously they don't have a lot of people.
A important part here, the reason why they're so easy to conscript everybody is that 7th Prince has a backer of an uncle. And we find out there's officially, this isn't the official amount of smoldering gods in humanity, but we find out there's 33 heavenly kings. And so they're all heavenly kings are all smoldering gods. So that's not the official count for humanity. Probably is,
but it's like on the surface. It's probably like hot ones hiding. So.
Yeah, this the surface level smoldering gods is 33. I guess there's probably 50. Maybe that's too high. Maybe 40. But like, I don't know. Humanity is very shifty. Maybe 50. Yeah. But anyways, 33 on the surface smoldering gods, and 7th Prince has a smoldering god as his backing, which is why when he conscripts people, everybody shows up. Because if not, smoldering god annihilates you.
So yeah, Sealing County's been at odds with them because they've been trying to stop sending too many people because like they don't have a lot of people to begin with. They
basically took everybody. The way they described it is that first, they've gone through 6 waves of conscription.
Yeah.
And they're about to be on their 7th, or is it they've gone through 5 and they're about to be on their 6th?
I think it was 6 and they're about to be on their 7th.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So they basically described it. They took all the cannon fodder people at the beginning, your regular people in a sect, the first 4. The 5th were your semi-chosen. And then the 6th was basically chosen. And the 7th, they were trying to take their generational talents.
And they were just you have nothing left, so you can't take it.
If you take our generational talents, literally you will have annihilated a whole generation of cultivators.
And they were trying to conscript Zuking and stuff.
Oh, Zuking was also part of that last conscription.
Yep, and so they pull up in a ship given to them by the heir apparent. So it's made by a smoldering god.
Zuking is. And
they crash into the conscription people, the envoy or whatever.
You should say who it is.
Yes, and it was the former master of the 7 Blood Eyes presidency. Or no, that's a different guy.
Yeah. It's the Sword Sage.
Oh, the
Cloud Sage.
Soaring Cloud sect.
That's what it was. That was the little one.
And they crash into him. He dies from the ship collision immediately.
Yeah. So if you guys remember, he's Master Shang Huan, who was that guy that gave Zuking his second lamp. What are those lamps called?
Oh, life lamp.
Life lamp. Second life lamp. And then the father was Chen something. I forget him. Chen Shang Huan? Was that? No, it wasn't Chen Shang Huan. It was Chen something. Who was that god fight that Zuking had right outside of the county capital, which was insane. And they also, both of those guys went over to Torchlight. So that was a big thing. And then the Patriarch obviously didn't, but he still got sent out. And we finally see him there, and he gets wrecked.
He gets wrecked by the ship, and then the remaining conscription people that are there, because like he wasn't actually the leader, he was just the guy shouting like, "Oh, they gotta come" or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they tell like Zuking, "Oh, like, we can overlook this. You just gotta come and join the army." And Zuking's like, "Piss off, bitch."
Yeah.
And they killed him with the sword slash from Ninth Sip.
Yep. And that was I think it was a 4th-stage void returning or something like that. And so then the Smoldering God hears about it. He pulls up.
Oh.
What?
Way before.
Was that the president? Was that the president in between that?
No. So, yes, the president was before that.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
Because he heard about it and he was like, "What the?" And then he tried to use it as an excuse for what happened to him.
Yeah. So the 7th Prince heard about this and the Smoldering God. So they used the president of the 8 Mountain Sect. What is it called?
8 Blood Coalition.
8
Sect. 8 Sect Coalition.
The president who used to be part of the 8 Sect Coalition. He joined 7th Prince as his follower. He's a 2nd-stage void returning. And so he sets up this whole play to get Zhu King basically by himself so that he can kill him and assimilate him. The assimilation is kind of a side thing. It's not super cool.
Yeah.
Because they both use the Golden Crow.
Yeah, but basically they sent out like 10,000 people who got conscripted from Cecilian County.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to put on a play of like, oh, who's going to save them? And
so they were in the front lines and they were coming back.
Yeah.
They were like technically deserters.
Yeah. So they were coming back and it was like, okay, who's going to save them? Who's not? And then they got surrounded. They got surrounded by the 7 Princes people.
Yep.
And then
Master 7 showed up, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He showed up
and he took care of that situation. And then the president was like, "I have another chess piece," and I think he was stern. No, I messed that up. The 10,000 people were having problems, and so the Marcus, is that his name?
Marcus Yao.
Marcus Yao went over and took care of it. Then the president made some moves in Cecilian County, and so Master 7th went to Cecilian County to coil it. And then the president was like, "Oh, I got him where I want him." And so then I forget how he set it up, but he sent some sort of blood thing. What was it?
So what he did was he sent a guy
from
the sect who set the people free, and he sent him there as like a spy, not a spy, but as someone to be like to pass over information about what happened. And he was basically using that guy as like a medium to listen in, and then he was gonna attack them. Yeah. Because he opened like a little void.
Yeah. That's how it was. Yeah.
And then right after this, Zhu King was like, "Oh, you want to play?" He tosses a dawning sun back at the president. And so the president is in the 7 Prince City. Yeah. And so it explodes and destroys everyone. It kills everyone but the 7th Prince.
And like a couple of his followers.
So they were annihilated.
Like imagine, so remember, these dawning suns, we didn't know what they were before. We knew they were the domain treasure of the humans, but it's not like a huge domain treasure. It's a usable domain treasure, right? So you use one, it's gone. And we found out how they're made in Moonrise region. It's like one of those man-made suns, and you just gotta superpower them somehow. And maybe with God Flesh, is that what they did, right?
I can't remember how it works.
But he has 3, I believe.
Yeah.
He had 3 in total, and he used 1 there.
Yeah.
And so he had 3, he used 1, decimated it, and the 7th Prince was like, "Oh God, I almost died."
Yeah, so I was like, okay, he stood on business.
Yeah. And remember, Zhu King has a get out of jail free card from when he became the governor of Cecilian County. They also gave him a one-time pass of execution. Yeah. So he doesn't care.
Yeah. So yeah, and then he took the president. Then they captured the president afterwards.
I think the president died.
No, they captured his soul. And then,
a bit of his soul went back through the portal.
Yeah, they captured what was left.
Yeah.
And then he put it in a lamp. Or no. He like wrapped it up as a gift and gave it to what's her face? Plum Dark?
Oh, yeah, Plum Dark, yeah.
He was like, here's a gift for you. Because Night Sib was giving him relationship advice. He was like, bro, he has harassed your girl. Yeah. That's why he wanted to capture her, too. That was his goal.
That was back in the day goals for him. He wanted to capture her.
He still want to capture her now.
No, I know, but like, it was from like way back then, if you guys remember.
So, Night Sib was like, okay, so you know he has an issue with her, so you gotta gift him as a present to her. Yeah. And she did, and she liked it, and she was like, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna burn his soul and put it in a lamp in front of my house.
And it was so hilarious because I thought it was like, what's up? Because after the president came through the portal, he was so weak, and Zoo King could like mess him up. And he was just gonna like one shot kill him because we all know that's what Zoo King does, just go for the throat and one shot kill people. And Night Sib was in his head, like he said, and he was like, "No, you have to make a loud claim about it. You have to slap him a couple times in the face." And so he basically made Zoo King face slap the guy like 20 times. Yeah. And he's like, "Don't touch her." And then he gives it to her like he said, and then everybody was even Plum Dark was like, "I didn't know that's how you roll, but I like it." And I said, was like, you see, I've done this many times.
I've never been in a relationship, but you know, a coach doesn't have to get in the game.
Yeah. And so Zoo King was like, I'm never doing that again, but I see what you did there. He's probably doing that again. Only if he for sure has the absolute advantage, because we know Zoo King doesn't play around with leaving people alive.
So after this,
Seven Prince tells his uncle, he's like, yo, I almost died. Like, go get my people. Like, go conscript them and better make them kneel.
Yeah. But before he finds out about what happened, they were in the middle of a war with the Nightshades.
Oh, this is more.
And they were pushing them back. And then the Nightshades, because they lost Crimson Moon Goddess, they were like trying to do prayers and stuff. And then they changed the prayer because they found out about the Violet Moon. So I forget what the chant was, but they replaced Crimson Mother with Violet Lord. Yep. And all of a sudden, like, Zoo King like feels the summoning call, and his Violet Moon appears. And King Heaventide, that's his name, he sees the aura. And then their whole arm, he like retreats. He's like tells them retreats, but he flees faster than anyone else. And then the Nightshades, like, obviously don't chase him. They run away because they're retreating. Yeah. And then we find out it was fake. Like it wasn't actually coming because obviously Zoo King's not a god.
And then, he looked like a shit.
Yeah, King Heaventide, he looked like an idiot. And he fell for it. And then to try and recoup his losses and to save face, he forced his army to chase them again, which led to them losing like 90% of his army. Yeah, they did do that. Yeah. And then he found out about what happened. He was like, okay, I'm just going to blame it on Cecilian County for not giving me enough troops to do this war. Because the whole point of him doing his part was to make Holy Tide region his nephew's make that his like stronghold to compete for the Crown Prince title.
An important part here is this war where the Nightshades got like more official, and basically we find out the Nightshades have 2 regions. If you don't include the Holy Tide region that was their subordinate, so they used to have 3, now they have only 2, and the Imperial capital sent 12, I believe. 12 smoldering gods.
No.
They sent like 4 or 5, right? Because they were attacking from all different fronts. There was on the other region, which there's 2 different names for the Nightshade region. One was literally just like the Night Sky region, and I forget the other name. But the other region where is it's a Nightshade territory. There was a bunch of smoldering gods over there, and in this region is where they have the priests. That's the one that neighbors Holy Tide, and so the priest that Zoo King is technically like the Violet Lord for is in that region. So that was like a pretty important fact of why he scared like the smoldering god.
Yeah. So, again, he then comes with his army. Yeah. And comes to Cecilian County, and he demands all the stuff. He's like, you know what? You just join the army. I can forgive everything. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. And then he tries, or I can't remember exactly what happened. All I remember is that Ninth Sib was like trying to or they asked like, oh, what's the background? Like, do you have any background to go up against a smoldering god? Yeah. And they're like, well, we do. Yeah. And Nine Sib killed him in 2 shots or 3 shots?
I thought it was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did, because he slashed his world. He sent a 1 shot, then he slashed his world in half.
Yeah.
And then he killed him.
Yeah. I think first his body. No, first the world.
Oh, then his body, then his soul.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And racked him 3 moves. And then literally the Holy Tide or King Heaven Tide's forces were like, what do we do? And then Ning Yan, it was an Imperial Prince, he was like, as an Imperial Prince, and basically he took all ownership of it and was like, you guys need to follow my commands. And I think he arrested them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but they were pretty much like let go after. But he just basically helped them save face.
Yeah, because they made it like Imperial discussions. So it's just like, okay, just the battle between me and the 7th Prince, y'all are just middlemen, so we're not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, because they obviously weren't gonna just kill like a bunch of human forces.
Yeah.
Like they would have. Zoo King doesn't like doing that. Nobody wants to do that, right? So that was like the nice out. And then I think actually an important thing is right before King Heaventide showed up, the smoldering god from the Holy Tide region, what's his name? Ancient Holy Tide or something? I think it's Emperor.
You mean Emperor Holy Tide?
I mean Emperor Holy Tide, but I think they changed his name because he's not really an emperor anymore.
I don't think he's a smoldering god.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, but he's in one world.
Yeah. So he just turned. Remember, he turned into a smoldering god, and then he cut the curse of the Nightshades off.
Yeah.
So before Heaventide even showed up, he was like,
oh, Grand Holy Tide.
Grand Holy Tide. He was like, he was seeing things, and he was like, I know, like, I don't know which side I should pick, but this could change like all of Holy Tide's like future. So before this whole interaction between Nine Sib and Heavenly Tide, is that his name?
Grand Holy Tide.
Grand Holy Tide showed up. No, the other Heavenly King. What's the Heavenly King's name?
Heaventide.
Heaventide. Yes. Oh, Heaventide. It's messing me up. But he's basically like swore. He didn't swear allegiance, but he was like, whatever you guys do, I'll back you to the 12th Prince. And like, high key was to Zoo King, but he did it to 12th Prince to like keep up appearances. He was like, yo, like, we follow you guys. You remember that?
I thought it was more. I didn't think it was. I thought it was like for real. Like, oh, like he's like the future. Like I'm gonna follow him. Like actually, like.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, it's not like you were saying like he was like being flaky about it.
No, I think I was trying to say that like he did it to 12th Prince. But in reality, he was trying to do it to Zoo King.
Oh, yeah.
But like to make up appearances, he had to do it as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
so
because Zoo King's a region lord, so it's like
yeah. So then, but he did that before. So then, as soon as like Heavenly Tide got wrecked, he was like, "Oh, I made a good decision."
Yeah. And then after this is when the Imperial Edict comes down for the Emperor.
Yeah.
He tells Zoo King, come to the Imperial capital and come and join the Imperial school.
Mm-hmm.
He tells
12th
Prince to come to the Imperial capital. You know, he like scolds him a little bit, but then he says like, it's my fault, should have taught you better, whatever.
Well, I think there was a part right before the edicts though. Was it when Zoo King went up to the Nightshade region?
I thought that happened because they left, because of the edict.
Nah, I thought. Was it?
No, you're right. Oh, so this is what happened. Before the edict, they had to take over for the war against the Nightshades.
Yeah.
So they go and lead King Heaventide's army to fight the Nightshades.
Oh, and the Holy Tide people like said everybody they got because he's like, I'm behind Zoo King.
Yeah, that's what happened. So Seatsin County, King Heaventide's army, and the Holy Tide armies, they all unite. They're about to attack the Nightshades. The Nightshades are just like, we surrender.
Oh, they didn't even say we surrender. We said, because remember, they didn't want to say we surrender.
Oh, you're right.
They were like, guys, like, we can duke it out, but I believe we follow the Violet Lord now.
And we think he's Zoo King.
Yeah.
And then, but they were fibbing.
Yeah.
And then Zoo King summons his Violet Moon, and they're like, now we really are actually gonna.
And they have like smoldering gods in that group. So Zoo King just got some smoldering god followers.
Yeah, so they're all following. In Zoo King, like he put his name on the god seal too. The bishop or priest, whatever.
They said the grand. Basically, it's like the pope of the.
Yeah, the pope. That's what it was.
The pope of like the Violet Lord's church.
And so they put him on. He put him on the steel, and now he has a whole fanatic amount of believers.
And so they kind of described like a god steel, and they basically said that god steels are like where like
the highest level servants.
Yeah, and like usually they don't put like popes on there unless they do something crazy.
So, or anyone on there.
Yeah, so for the Pope to be on there was like a really big like boon for him. And so he'll basically grow as like Zoo King grows. Obviously not like in parallel, but like that was a huge thing. And then the Nightshades were able to like kind of surrender in a saving face way. Because like, oh, we're not surrendering to humans, we're surrendering to Violet Lord.
Yeah, so, and this is why Zoo King now has so much power because he united Holy Tide region. So now humanity technically has two regions. Because Cecilia County is like the capital.
Yeah.
And everyone's following like their orders.
So they have, in total, they have the Imperial region, which is its own huge region. They have Holy Tide region, with Cecilia County being the leader of it. And Zoo King this is where the edicts come in, and the Emperor gives them, like, announces him as Region Lord. And if you guys remember, they only have, like we just said, they only have 2 regions. And the other one is where the Emperor is. So Zoo King is the only regional lord.
Yep.
And like, I think there's like 12 other counties in other regions, but they obviously don't own their regions.
Yeah.
So like Zoo King being the only regional lord is like huge. And technically, this man owns like 2.5 regions. Because he owns the Holy Tide region. Like, the Moonlight region is heir apparent, and he's his master.
Yeah.
And then he owns, where the priests were, they had half of that Nightshade region. And so the Nightshades technically still own it, but like, the Violet Lord is their god, and Zoo King is Violet Lord. So he owns 2.5 regions. And the Emperor only owns 1. So you're seeing how crazy Zoo King is right now. Like, it's actually insane. Like, he basically... He tripled their, like, area of influence. That's insane.
And so now, this is when they depart, and they start heading to the capital.
Before that, though, Zoo King goes back to Sicily. He goes back to...
Forbidden by the Phoenix.
Yeah. He also...
Or South Phoenix.
He goes to South Phoenix, but then he goes to Forbidden by the Phoenix, which is the immortal region.
So he says good. He's like visits Grandmaster Bai's grave one more time.
Yeah.
Then he meets with Huang Yu, who is the Phoenix.
Yep. Officially stamped.
Yep. And then we find out because like he's such a high level being, second Sib from like Master Seven's disciples is gonna be pregnant for like decades.
Yeah.
That's gotta be rough.
Yeah, for sure. And who was? We also, I think after that,
we found out the Shadow can swallow forbidden grounds.
Oh, that was huge.
Yes,
because he swallowed the forbidden ground.
I don't remember which one, but
it was like it was actually kind of a throwaway one. It wasn't important. But I remember he went back to Master Sergeant Thunder.
Sergeant Thunder was the other guy he went back to
his grave, and he like could have swallowed that forbidden region where it was at. And he basically like...
He told like the
singer girl.
Yeah, who like lords over the forbidden ground. He was just like, protect this area and you'll live.
If you don't, I will eat you.
Yeah.
And that's actually crazy that he can eat, like he can swallow forbidden regions, the Shadow. Like, that can like change the whole dynamic of like Revered Ancient. Because like, I kind of think of it as a forbidden grounds, as like areas that infect... Like, that's where the mutagen is, and it's infecting the world. He can technically disinfect the world. Like, he probably has a limit. He can't eat all of them right now. And there's also, like, probably millions.
And then the broken god also, like, his eyes just... I think his presence just adds mutagen.
Yeah, that as well. So he couldn't fully, like, cure it.
But he could reduce it considerably, like, if he was like, that's my mission.
Yeah, like, in, like, the human... regions, he could eat all. I don't know if he could eat all of them, but he can eat some.
Yeah.
And that's like obviously like shows that further on like he can cleanse them like entirely. Well, probably when he has enough power to like do a region at once is when he'll probably start cleansing. That's my hypothesis. And the Phoenix once again did say when he was sending him to the Imperial region, he was like, "Hey, if you don't like it out there, you can always come back." So that Phoenix
is a huge safety net.
He's like super strong.
Yep. And he also said he had an ally there.
Yeah, he gave a gift to Zhu King to carry over to one of his others, like little sisters or what does he call them?
He called it younger sister.
Yeah, the younger sister. And I think that was pretty much. Oh, we found out about Yan Yan. Is her name?
Oh yeah, she doesn't have mutation in her body because it infects her soul.
Yeah, so instead of infecting her body, it's her soul, and that's why she's so crazy and tapped out of her mind. Mm-hmm. So we find that out, and I think he said he's able to cure her. Yeah. But just not now. Yeah. So that was big because he felt bad about not being able to cure her. Any other things he tied up? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think that was it. He's Region Lord. Moonrise Regions. Oh, Nine Sid went back to Moonrise Region. He didn't stay there. He didn't stay in Cecilian County. But they're close enough. And that was pretty much it. And then they started traveling to the Imperial Region. So they traveled to the Imperial Region. This is it's not really that important. Like what happened in the middle. Yeah. Like their first teleport, they go to a place called I don't remember the name of that place. It was like something. It was like Peace or something. To be honest, Extreme Peace region. Yeah. Even though it's not a peaceful region at all. Yeah. But I think this one will only be important because of the captain. There's like a weird teleportation formation there that was looked at by the broken god, and it became alive, became sentient. Yeah, so it only becomes sentient when the full moon is up, right? Yeah. So like once a month it does it. Right? So once a month? I think it was once a month. Yeah, once a month in the full moon is what I believe it is. And so when it does, it becomes active, and it basically just goes around the region, and it like just eats people. But the people don't die; they just get teleported to other parts of the region. So it really is just like they say it's like kind of just a kid having fun. And then when it's like the night that the moon is over, like the full moon, it goes back to where it was, and the teleportations are free. But the captain somehow figured out a way to like take some of its power. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be important. Yep. Definitely, because the captain's crazy. Yep, and then they run into Princess Anna. Yeah, she was there. I think she's the next one. She's in the next region. Yeah, so they run into her. Mm. They have a little party. She tries to help them out a bit by introducing them to her nanny, her wet nurse. And Ningyan was there, and she was trying to like have Ningyan kind of cozy up. Yeah, but like she didn't care, because she's like I'm retired out here. Like I'm not trying to get involved in the succession war. Yeah. She didn't care about them, but then Hong Yi's little sister comes through, and the nanny is like her disciple, or respect. She like respects her a lot. Yeah, she helped her out a lot. Because I think the Huang Yuan's like little sister kind of like lords over that area. Yeah. So like anybody who sees her is like, oh my god, she's like kind of like the god of the area. Yeah. So she gives respects to Zhu King. Yeah. So then that's when the nanny gives respect to them too. Yeah. And so they kind of like, we kind of start seeing Ningyan being propped up a lot here, and Zhu King really taking him under his wing as like a little brother, and is like trying to like kind of uplift him. Yeah, help him regain his confidence. Because he's like, damn, that confidence. And then Princess Anhai joins them on the trip back to the Imperial region. Mm-hmm. So now they get to the Imperial region. Some organizations try to play some tricky shit on them. It was actually crazy. Yeah, basically they try to scan them, right? Mm. And Zhu King's like, you know what, they're not gonna get anything on me, but let's play the game. So they scan them, and so I think he knew they were gonna get his stuff. No, like his violet core, like his shadow and the violet crystal. Like he knows that. Those are the only things he cares about protecting. Yeah, he knows they can't scan it, so he doesn't care about anything else. Yeah. So they scan him,
And as they slowly scan him, it kind of reveals like the dangerous stuff about him.
Yeah.
And then the alert for like humanity from the scan like slowly goes higher and higher and higher until it reaches black because they sense the dawning sun he has on him.
Yeah.
And then the captain was just like, "This is how you treat the Region Lord."
Yeah.
And all this other stuff. And then they played it on even for. Oh no, that was a different thing.
But they did play it on a little bit because they were like they did play it off actually because then they showed up and they were like, "Oh, we're sorry, like we don't know who did that," and then the captain did his shenanigans, and then they got like I forget what they did for them, but they gave them a little like I think they had to do a whole like investigation onto like why that happened, and they had to give a reason to Zoo King. We kind of start getting into some political stuff here.
So yeah, Zoo King, Princess Anhai then takes her around the capital.
Mm-hmm.
They send him to Ningyan's old home.
Yep.
Where his family used to live.
Him, a twin brother, and a mother.
Yep. We found out like one day his mother and brother were killed. No one knows why.
Was it just me, or was the first time I read it, I thought they said she died in childbirth, and then after that's not what happened. Did I make that up?
I have no idea if they ever said that.
I feel like they said that like at the beginning of these chapters somewhere, and then after it switched to she died, like no, I made that up.
I think you made that up.
Alright, because I was like something that was in my head, and I was like, when did they change it? So maybe I just read that like I misread it or something.
But yeah, basically, there's a lot of mystery surrounding her death, and the Emperor was outraged, but no one knows what happened, and the Emperor didn't want anyone to investigate it, so it's just like his mom's taboo. That's also why the nanny didn't want to get involved with Ningyan, because like his whole, like, everything surrounding him was like not to be talked about.
Taboo. And so also important, very important, is that Imperial Preceptor is Zoo King's older brother.
Crown Prince of Sai.
Violence. And he is in this capital. He's in this Imperial region. They're in the innermost part of the Imperial region. So they're pretty close to each other. Mm-hmm. They're around each other.
Yep. And then we end the chapters when Zoo King goes to pay his respects to the Grand Emperor, Sword Sage.
Statue, of course.
And it lights up.
Yep.
And that's where it ends.
I actually thought that Grand Emperor Sword Sage, for some reason, I didn't realize he wasn't like a person still living.
Yeah, he's a clone.
It wasn't until here that I found out that he's a grand. So we actually found out about some cultivations over here, guys. You know I love that.
Oh yeah, we did.
So Sovereign, or it's not Sovereign. I skipped a whole bunch of stuff. Smoldering God. After Smoldering God goes Imperial Sovereign, right? And then once you hit the peak Imperial Sovereign, after the Imperial Sovereign comes Grand Emperor, right?
Yeah. So it's. Heavenly King is for Smoldering God. Imperial Sovereign is for. Wait.
No, don't do that. Just do the cultivation first, because I know you're trying to do those. Are confusing.
Yeah, I just confused myself. Okay, it was Smoldering God, Imperial Sovereign, Quasi Immortal.
No, it's Grand Emperor after that.
No, Grand Emperor is not. That's a title. It's not a cultivation.
Oh, they interchange them. Yeah.
So it's Imperial Sovereign, Quasi Immortal. Summer Immortal. And Ancient Emperor Dark Serenity was the last Summer Immortal.
Yeah.
And then they left to the Holy Lands, and Grand Emperor Sword Sage stayed back to defend humanity. And what it's left is just a clone.
So he's a quasi-immortal.
Yeah, quasi-immortals are Grand Emperors.
Yeah. And so we kind of also get a play of like the old strength of the humans. And so like back in the day they used to have like 9 Grand Emperors, and now they don't have any.
Yeah.
And like back in the day they used to have so this is the title stuff. There was like Heavenly Kings and Imperial Sovereigns, and technically like Imperial Sovereigns you were only technically called an Imperial Sovereign like as a title, not as a cultivation level, if you were at the peak of Imperial Sovereign level. And like we used to have like 30 something.
Yeah.
And then we went down to like 16, then 9, and now literally it's just
and now Heavenly Kings can only be smoldering gods.
Yeah.
Because they can't produce an Imperial Sovereign.
Yeah, and like the Emperor is our only Imperial Sovereign. Like he is also peak Imperial. Well, I don't know if he's peak Imperial Sovereign, but I'm pretty sure he is because they call him. He's the only one technically who can be called an Imperial Sovereign in the old titles. So
yeah, because
I believe he's peak.
Yeah, because I'm assuming it's because like luck and his bloodline, right?
Yeah.
So
and the Destiny.
Yeah.
So even our Heavenly Kings now, they used to have to be at least Imperial Sovereign level, like as a cultivation level, not the title. And now
now the quality's gone down. So yeah, basically the broken God.
Yeah, the face of God. Yeah.
He cut off cultivation for cultivators, or he cut off we stopped. We don't know how to get to the Imperial Sovereign realm.
And we also get some knowledge about the way mutagen works, because we thought mutagen was kind of like not important anymore, but we find out here that for mutagen, for like people who can't cultivate, it like severely like impacts them / kills a lot of them. For low level cultivators, it can cause like mutations or like just harmful effects on their body, and then for high level cultivators, it severs their cultivation. So basically, it severs the.
It caps their path.
Yeah, it caps their path. So basically, like mutagen, like is so strong that it makes it so that a lot of people struggle getting into Smoldering God, Imperial Sovereign, Quasi Immortal, Summer Immortal.
Yeah.
So like, because I feel like honestly, after Zukin got that Violet Crystal, in my head, mutagen's been like not really important besides like for the God stuff.
Well, I think it's just more like.
But now I see it has like other like realm effects.
Yeah, because I think I think we always look at it as like the effect on the body.
Yeah.
But we never look at the effect on the laws.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And it's just like it's not just you breaking down. It's like the laws themselves are like struggling. I mean, actually, I feel like we should have known that just because of the way they talked about the Heavenly Tao.
That's true.
Because like now that I'm thinking about it, the Heavenly Tao has to fend themselves off from the broken God, and I'm just like, oh wait, that makes sense because they're literally getting destroyed by him.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And the normal ones are always just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
The ancient ones are the only ones that are like trying to fight back.
Yeah, those ones. The other ones are just going through a cycle.
Yeah.
Getting wrecked and coming back, wrecked and coming back. But yeah, those 40 chapters were packed. Ningyan is gonna be very important upcoming. Plum Dark is here with us. Looking for the lamp from the. Oh, we missed the part.
Oh yeah.
Plum Dark and Zhu King went into Forbidden by the Immortal where the Timescape bottle was, and they went to the location where the Timescape bottle was, and Zhu King used his Timescape bottle to like go back into that past with Plum Dark, and Plum Dark like assimilated into the. Like
into her past life, pretty much.
Into her past life, and we find out that like she for sure is like
she was the daughter of Dark Serenity.
Dark Serenity, so she's like super royalty.
Yeah. And she shamed him for leaving, for abandoning humanity.
Him and her older brother.
Yeah, she shamed. She was like he just deserved to be ancient Emperor because she abandoned him, and she stayed behind and tried to fight back until she died.
Yeah, but somehow she's alive.
And she reincarnated.
Yeah. So. That was a big part. So she's here trying to find a lamp. What is the significance of the lamp? Or it used to be...
It's a lamp, like, it's the... So she always said, like, there was a lamp that was, like, the bright... It was, like, the lamp that was shining in her darkness.
I think her older brother left her that lamp.
Yeah, and she's been trying to find it.
Yeah.
And we now know it's an ancient... It's on the ancient planet of humanity.
It's a spoiler. That's the next 40 chapters.
That's the next one.
But we find out more. We couldn't help ourselves. But that's next week. We're talking about that. But yeah. So she's looking for lamps. The captain is doing captain things. Ning Yan is gonna be super important in this like Prince problems.
Well, again, I forget. Oh my God, there's another thing. Bright Heaven. What's it called? Is that called? What's it called? Bright Heaven.
Yeah, right.
We forgot. They talked about.
And deeper.
Well, no, it was just
But I'm missing the names up somehow.
when they arrived to the Imperial region.
Yeah.
Princess Anhai described the look of the planet where, like the past of humanity is like kind of stored.
Yeah.
And she said that beneath the abyss, like there's an abyss beneath there.
Oh yeah.
And King surmised that's probably where Bright Heaven is being sealed.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain said like, oh, I didn't get to make it there in my past lives.
Is it Bright Heaven that's being sealed?
Yes.
Yeah, Bright Heaven is being sealed by revered ancient.
Yep.
Yes, that's true.
It's
That's
crazy.
where like Crimson Mother and Li Zihua is from. That was important. And we also kind of get a breakdown of like the 10 superpower sects. I don't remember all their names, but they all come up. We just kind of get an outline of like kind of the imperial struggles and like what's happening. We get
political atmosphere.
we find out that the Grand Prince is actually half
Fire
human
moon.
and half fire. What do they call it?
Fire Moon, Dark Heaven.
Yeah, Fire Moon, Dark Heaven. So I don't know what's his mom, but obviously she's a Fire Moon, Dark Heaven. But like, who is she? They say fifth prince. After that is the strongest. He's the second strongest, right? Fifth prince.
Yeah.
And seventh prince and fifth prince have the same mom. 10th prince is kind of a wastrel. From what we are told, but low key he has like a lot of love for Ning Yan's mom. Ning Yan is 12. 11 was his older brother who died. The girls, two of them are married off, so they're kind of not important. Princess Anhai is the only one who's not married off and still has like succession rights. 4, I believe, is in
Playboy.
Is he the Playboy?
Yeah.
Then which one was the one?
No, 4 is the state
4.
preceptor's disciple, and I think 7 is the Playboy.
Yeah, so 4 is Imperial Preceptor's disciple. 7 might be the Playboy. And is it 9 who's the one in the college?
Yeah, he's the one that makes the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dawning Sons.
9 is the one that makes the Dawning Sons. So we kind of get an outline of them. There's a lot of cool people in there. Lots of things happening. Well, you know, those are packed 40 chapters though. A lot of things. Oh, also Zoo King just has like Crimson Mother's flesh on him. Like,
I forgot. We never talked about the rewards, what they got.
Oh yeah, they just basically got a bunch of Crimson Mother's flesh.
Some nails.
Some feathers. They also got like, what was it? Basically, depending on what you did, you got a certain amount of flesh. So Zoo King has a bunch of her flesh on him, and they're like obviously super powerful. Like they can do a bunch of stuff for him. He can only use his first god level, but by using Crimson Mother's flesh, he can technically use his second and third.
Yeah.
But it's kind of wasteful because like that's not like once you use the Crimson Mother's flesh, you ain't getting it back. Mm-hmm. I don't know when's the next time you're killing another high guy. That literally took eons to set up, like crazy schemes and all. But yeah, everything's kind of crazy. The captain, I want him to get a little more shine. I feel like he's getting tossed to the side. The higher we get up, the more like Zoo King is stealing his shine, which is a good or bad thing. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, those were 40 chapters. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Next time we come on here, we'll be talking about 750 to 800 of Beyond the Timescape. Yeah, that's been episode 74 of Light Novel Fiends. It's been Adam.
Big scammer. Peace.